Hello everybody, today I would like to speak about some disturbing tendency that was already evident before Trump's inauguration, and after inauguration it is right now completely on the full display. This is the cult of personality of Trump that is now in Republican Party. Republicans, I mean representatives, congressmen and senators, with some exception, they are afraid to voice their own point of view. They are just, pushing party line. And I was looking at, I was watching Republicans for some time, and I don't remember them doing that before. They were individualistic party. They can, yes, have some party line, but then they could, I mean, it was very difficult to whip Republican votes. Democrats were more organized usually previously, but right now I can see that Republican Party looks like Communist Party of Soviet Union. And there is no way for some party members to have their own opinion. Okay, and I was going to make a video about that, but then I have seen a post by Igor Eidman. He's writing in Russian, but I translated his post and put it on Substack. So Igor Eidman, he's a sociologist and sociologist. And he's a cousin of murdered Boris Nemtsov. He's not in Russia. He's right now in Germany, I think. And he made a post about the American Savok and its leader. Savok, it's a pejorative term to something that is very backward, very Soviet Union-like, something that, lives in the past. It is really, in Russian, it's pejorative, meaning something that not of this time, from some remaining from Soviet past, and which is not good. Okay, so this is what Igor Eidman wrote. In my views, I saw the United States as a country of free, proud people, the complete opposite of the Soviet realm of slavery, cowardice, and doublethink that surrounded me. That makes it all the more shocking to witness the new servile Savok emerging on American soil. Within the Republican ruling elite, distinctly Soviet traditions have taken root. The cult of leader's personality, competition in servility before him, doublethink, and willingness to change belief in step with the shifting party line as dictated from above. That is by the same leader. The cult of Trump has already surpassed the glorification of dear Leonid Ilyich. Leonid Ilyich, it means Brezhnev, and is approaching the cult of Stalin. The leader is always right, period. Anyone who doubts it is an enemy of the people. To argue with him is to insult the nation. The humiliating servility of Trump's inner circle before the new father and genius is downright indecent. Grown, well-groomed men, donning red hats inscribed with "Trump was right about everything." This is not only an ethical and political disgrace, but also an aesthetical abomination and a blatant farce. The situation surrounding Trump is reminiscent of Mandelstam. Okay, that we'll skip this. Granting Trump allows only Vance and Musk the privilege of being rude and jabbing in his presence, but their critical role in the formation of new American Savok deserves a separate discussion. Trump's crude attack on Zelensky is somewhat reminiscent of Stalin's conflict with Tito. At the end of World War II, Yugoslav leaders timidly complained that Soviet soldiers were assaulting local women. Stalin, unexpectedly outraged by this complaint, took it as the first affront in what became a year-long conflict. Interestingly, like Trump with Zelensky, Stalin accused Tito of ingratitude. Stalin was writing or saying, I don't know. You cannot fail to know that the Soviet government, despite colossal sacrifices and losses, is doing everything possible and even impossible to help you. You must not insult the army that is assisting you. Tito had previously been regarded as a hero in the USSR, but as soon as Stalin took offense, all Soviet leaders immediately began imitating hatred towards the Yugoslav leader. And now we see the same thing happening. The moment Trump and Vance attacked Zelensky, a large part of the Republican Party, many of whom had previously sympathized with Ukraine, servilely joined in. And just as an aside, when I was a kid in Soviet Union, I knew that Yugoslav was also a socialist state, but for some reason, which, my parents could not explain to me, and even my teachers could not explain to me why we were not on good terms with them. They were saying, what? There was something between Trump and Tito, so they decided that we are not the right social communist. So they were putting blame on Tito. So it's just an aside. I just remembered that it was strange to me that I knew that Yugoslavia was socialist state, but we didn't have really good relations with Soviet Union. Didn't have good relations with them for some reason. Soviet traditions are being replicated within the Trumpist camp down to the finest detail. Remember how in the USSR people would cut the faces of enemies of the people out of photographs. Many Republicans are now behaving the same way. Senator Roger Wicker deleted a post with a photo of himself shaking hands with Zelensky immediately after Trump's outburst. Senator Lindsey Graham, who had once lavishly praised lavish praise on Ukraine's president, disavowed him the same day. A politician I know told me that Waltz, the president's national security advisor, has a Ukrainian flag hanging in his office and has long been supportive of Ukraine. I think it was not in his office, I think it was in the corridor near the door of his office. There was a Ukrainian flag of the Waltz. I remember when he was announced to be that he might be security advisor. Somebody found this photograph and was showing it on Telegram or something like this. I remember that. Okay, so he has a Ukrainian flag hanging in his office and has long been supportive of Ukraine. But the party, or rather its leader, said attack. And so Waltz launched a barrage of crude and senseless accusations at Zelensky. People like Waltz, along with Rubio, Cruz, Graham, Kellogg, and many other Republicans, are prime examples of Soviet-style doublethink. They are personally opposed to Putin and privately support Ukraine, but publicly they pander to the anti-Ukrainian tantrums of their self-obsessed boss. Just like Soviet Party critics once condemned decadent bourgeois art, while secretly collecting paintings and memorizing the poems of blacklisted authors. The Republican Party is turning into an American clone of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. A few dissidents still remain in Congress, but they will be purged in the next primaries and never allowed near another election. The rest heap praise upon Comrade Trump, the organizer and inspirer of all of our victories. Slaves, pitiful slaves. Postscriptum. By the way, when the political climate shifts, when criticizing the leader is no longer dangerous but advantageous, these party slaves will eagerly throw him out of his virtual mausoleum, saying, "Turns out our father was not a father but a scoundrel," just as their Soviet predecessors did before them. So, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Slava Ukraini!